Hello guys, welcome to my channel Barber's Corner. This is my first video that I'm uploading to my channel, so I'm quite excited. So I decided to prepare or make an easy recipe, and so today we are going to learn how to prepare the famous Sobolo drink. I don't know whether you've heard about it, but here in Ghana it is very popular. We use it for weddings, for funerals, for parties, for picnics. In fact, anywhere you go, there's Sobolo around. Now, this is a very local drink, but we come to learn how to prepare it so that you can drink it wherever you are. So here are my ingredients. I have here my star anise. I'm using just 2 of this spice because it can be quite bitter, and we don't want the drink to taste bitter before we even taste how sweet it is. Here is my white pepper. I just used about 2 tablespoons for this preparation. Here is my black pepper. That's also about 2 tablespoons. Here are my cloves. I used about 3 tablespoons. 3 tablespoons of cloves for this pepper. And here is my dry pepper. Now, someone may prefer not to use dry pepper because the person wouldn't like the Sobolo drink hot. But here we like how it tastes and we want it hot, so we add the dry pepper. If you want to add this, you can dry chili and just add it to yours. Here is pineapple, my ripe pineapple. Now it is better to use a ripe pineapple because you get the taste very well. It's sweet taste, you get it very well. Now here is my sugar. So for now it seems like I have a lot of sugar, but then I wouldn't be using it all because I would be using it bit by bit till I get my taste right. Here is my popular Sobolo leaves. So my Sobolo leaves, the main ingredient in this drink is the Sobolo leaves. Now I'm using just 1 cup of the Sobolo leaves for this preparation, and this 1 cup can make a drink that can be served to about 20 people or so. Yes, so here are my ingredients. Oh, I forgot one thing. This is my flavor. Now I chose to use a mixed fruit flavor because I like how the flavor is, and it is called exotic flavoring. Now you can choose to use banana flavor or strawberry flavor or vanilla. It depends on what you want, but for me I prefer the exotic flavoring. Now Sobolo in Ghana is believed to boost your immune system, and so usually we drink it to serve that purpose. And during this pandemic time, it has been of great help because it makes us very healthy and it helps your immune system to be strong, and so you can actually fight the virus even if you're infected with it. So without wasting much time, let's dig into this. My Sobolo is now on fire, and this is the amount of water I use for the 1 cup of Sobolo that I'm preparing. I use this container, 4 of this container, to prepare the 1 cup of Sobolo that I showed you earlier on. Now the amount of water you use depends on you actually, because it depends on how thick or light you want the drink to look, how dark or light you want the drink to look. So if you want it very dark, then you shouldn't use a lot of water, so you probably should use as much as I used, which is 4 cups of this container. And if you want it to be a little lighter, then you have to use more of the water, maybe probably 6 or more, depending on how you want it. So this is the container. It's not too big, it's not small too, so I don't know, you might not have this same container, but anything which you can use to measure would be great. So now here is my Sobolo on fire. My Sobolo on fire. Now we're going to leave it as it is and put the lid on it and wait for it to boil. We are going to wait for it to boil. So you see how the color is coming very nicely. This is how it is going to look, very dark. Now I can see you getting excited, just I am excited here, but this is not the best part yet. So let's wait for it to boil completely and let's continue. So now that we are waiting for my Sobolo to boil, or the Sobolo to boil, we would go ahead and blend our dry spices. Now if you have this small blender that we use to blend spices, you can use it. If not, I don't know, but maybe you would have some means of blending dry spices where you are, so you can use that one too. But all the same, we just want it blended. So we're going to put all my spices here. This is my white pepper. This is my cloves. This is my black pepper. This is my star anise. And finally, my dry pepper. Now all spices are in here, so we're going to blend it. Now from years of use, my cover has actually been discolored because of the actual quantity of spices I've used this blender to blend. So you can see, you can't even see through it anymore, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that we are going to blend it. So we're going to blend our spices now. So I'm done blending my spices. I'm done blending them, and this is the final, what I got. So it has to look something like this. Now we're going to put that in a container and keep it. Now this smells very good. You can actually smell the flavor from all the spices, and it actually smells good. It actually smells good. And fortunately for us, my Sobolo is also ready. Wow. So we're going to turn that off and wait till it cools so that we can actually sieve it. You can see how dark it is. Yes, this is what I was talking about. So we're going to actually wait for some few minutes so that it cools down enough for us to be able to sieve it completely. So while we are waiting for the Sobolo to cool down, we're going to go ahead and cut my pineapple into pieces and blend them. Now you have to peel off its hide. We're going to peel everything off so that we can get the food inside and actually blend it into juice. We want the pineapple juice, so we will be extracting the juice. Now you can see here that I've washed my pineapple very nicely. You should do well to wash your pineapple because we don't want any bacteria getting into the drink. We don't want any bacteria getting into the drink, so wash it very nicely. You can wash it with salt water if you want and rinse it off with normal water. Okay, so I have here my pineapple chunks. I've cut the pineapple into small pieces, as you can see here, and I'm going to blend it. And as you can see, I'm not using too much water because pineapple already contains a lot of water, and we don't want to dilute the juice from the pineapple too much, and so I won't be using a lot of water to blend this pineapple. So I'm going to go ahead and blend it. I'm done now with the blending of the pineapple. As you can see, it came out nicely. So you can see the pineapple juice in there. Now we don't want the chaff along with the juice, so we are going to sieve it so that we extract the juice from it, because that is the only thing we're going to add to the sobolo. We're going to extract the juice from this and add it to the sobolo when it is cooled completely. So I have sieved my pineapple, the blended pineapple. I have sieved it, and now I've extracted the juice out of it. You can see the juice, it's very thick. Now this is what you're also going to do. You're going to just extract the juice from your blended pineapple, just the juice. You have to make sure that the chaff doesn't actually get into this juice, or else there will be some discontentment when you are drinking the sobolo drink. You see there will be some things in it and they'll be in your mouth. We don't want it that way, so it is better if you carefully sieve the blended pineapple and extract the juice this way. Now you can use any sieve you want. You can use any sieve you want to extract the juice. If you have a cloth, a clean cloth that you usually use to sieve such things, you can also use it. We just want the end product to be something like this. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to blend ginger. You remember earlier on I told you that we will be adding ginger to the mix to give it a lot of flavor. So we'll be adding ginger, so I'm going to blend my ginger so that we'll add it to the mix. So this is the ginger that I'm going to use for my sobolo. As you can see, I've washed it very carefully. Now you have to wash it very well because ginger has a lot of sand around it, on it. So if you don't take care to wash it properly, you might end up having sand in your drink, and we don't want it that way. So take care to carefully and properly wash it very well before you use it. Now you can also decide to peel off the skin of the ginger. I prefer not to do that because in the end I would be sieving everything, so I prefer to blend it just as is it and use it this way. So I'm going to cut these into small pieces and then blend and extract the juice from it. just as I did with the pineapple. Just as I did with the pineapple. I hope up until now you've been following everything we've been doing. Please make sure you don't miss a step, because we don't want your Sobolo tasting different from mine. Or maybe you could create another drink of your own, who knows? So I'm going to cut these into small pieces and blend it, and then extract the juice from it. As you can see, I'm using very little water to blend the ginger. I don't want the water to be too much so that the juice from the ginger isn't too diluted. So that's what I'm doing here. Nicely done. Nicely done. So now I'm going to go ahead and extract the juice from the blended ginger, and then I'll add it to the pineapple. You remember the juice I extracted from the pineapple. I'm going to add the extracted ginger juice to the pineapple juice I have. So here is my ginger and pineapple juice extract. I have extracted the juice from it and I've combined the two. So this is actually pineapple juice and ginger juice together. Ginger and pineapple can be used to make a cocktail of its own, and you can drink it. It has very good health benefits, but in this preparation we are going to use it to add to the Sobolo. We are going to add it to the Sobolo drink. We are not going to drink it separately this way. So I bet you've all forgotten about the spices that we actually blended, the dry blended spices. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take just 1 cup of the Sobolo drink that I've sieved, and I'll mix it with the spices, then I'll sieve it. The reason why I'm not mixing the spices with water is because I don't want the Sobolo drink to be too light. I don't want it to be too light. Earlier on I told you that I wanted my Sobolo drink to be dark, and so I'm going to add just 1 cup to it, mix it, and then sieve it and add it to the pineapple juice. Now let's see how that goes. So this is it. I have actually you can see that the color has changed. It has changed. Well, don't be alarmed. Don't be alarmed. Just as I said earlier on, I mixed the spices with a little bit of the drink because I don't want to be using too much water. I don't want my drink to be very light, and so instead of using water, I just used 1 cup of the Sobolo juice to mix the spices, and then I sieved it and added it to the pineapple and ginger juice we had here, and so that is what has changed the color. It is the Sobolo drink that I used to mix to the spices that has changed the color of the ginger and pineapple juice. So don't be alarmed at all. You're on the right track. Now we are going to add this juice, the spices, the ginger juice, and the pineapple juice to the Sobolo. You remember that I told you that we are allowing the Sobolo drink to cool so that we would be able to sieve it. Now you have to make sure you've sieved it very properly so that you don't get some of the leaves in the drink. We don't want you to be chewing strange things. So here is the Sobolo juice that I have sieved. Here is the Sobolo juice that I have sieved. You can see that I've sieved it nicely. There is no leaves in it. You can see how nicely I've sieved it. It is better to get one particular bucket or container for the Sobolo so that you wouldn't have to be using anything around for it. So it is better if you get one particular bucket for it. Now we are going to add the ginger juice, the pineapple juice, and the spices that we've mixed together. We're going to add it there nicely. So you can see that the ginger has actually settled at the bottom of the container. So you have to, shake it so that it all, becomes part of the rest of the juice so that you add it. Now we are going to stir. We're going to stir everything together nicely and slowly. We don't want the drink to be spilling on the floor, so we are going to do it nicely and slowly. We are mixing the content. So now what we have here is basically the Sobolo juice, the pineapple juice, the ginger juice, and then the spices. That is what we have here. So most of our ingredients have now been mixed. Most of our ingredients have been mixed. Now what I'm going to do next is to add my sugar to the drink. So I'll begin by I think it's okay for now, so I would stir it. So as you can see, my wooden spoon has been discolored. You have to make sure to get one wooden spoon or any spoon you want to use, because Sobolo tends to discolor things, and you should make sure that you have just one so that it will be assigned purposefully for the Sobolo that you're making. You have to make sure that you do this in a hygienic environment, because we don't want bacteria going into the drink. It is something we are drinking right away, and we are not going to put it on fire again. So you have to make sure that everything you do is done cleanly, very clean. Now, the last but not the least is to add the flavor to it. Now, for the quantity of the flavor, you should make sure you don't add too much flavor, because the flavoring is very bitter. If you've tasted it before, you would know it is bitter. So if you add too much, the flavor would be too potent and it would be bitter. So we don't want to add too much of the flavor. So here with mine, I'm left with about less than half of the bottle. So I'm going to use all for this. I'm actually going to use all because it's left with just a few. So I would be using everything in the bottle. And now I'm going to mix it very well. I can smell the flavor and it's great. and it's very great. So up to this point, you're almost done with your sobolo. We are almost done with our sobolo, and soon it will be ready to serve. So you can use any flavor of your choice. Just as I said earlier on, you can use banana, you can use even if you have apple flavor, strawberry flavor, any kind of flavor you want, or you can use other fruits such as the passion fruit. If you don't want to use flavor, you can use passion fruit. It gives off a very nice smell and taste. It really makes the sobolo drink very nice too. If you have the passion fruit available, you can add it to the pineapple and actually blend it together and use it instead of the flavor. If you don't have it too, then let's go the artificial way and add that flavor to it. So now your sobolo is ready. You can drink it just this way, warm, or you can put it in the refrigerator and drink it cold. On a hot sunny day, cold sobolo is very good. Actually, it refreshes you, it makes you active and alert. And you can drink it warm. If you want to drink it in like you're taking medicine or something, but I know most of you are doing this for how it refreshes your body, and so you are going to take it cold. So now our sobolo is actually done. You see how dark it is? This is how I like it. Not too dark and not very light. Our sobolo is ready to be served. Enjoy!